No, you stay down there. Hello! Welcome to today where Mims is trying to get in the way. No, you stay down there, you little munchkin. Let's tune in. Beautiful, welcome to today's messages of love. Yes. Let's tap in and tune in and turn on the messages for today. I feel like we've only ever seen like 4 different cards in here, and that's one of them. That is one of the ones we need to focus on. Forgiveness. We had forgiveness come up yesterday. Forgiveness. Let's read what it says about forgiveness in the book. Those who can forgive will be granted forgiveness. Okay. Love is the key. Those who forgive hold in their hands for a moment the key to true love. The reward is deep peace. Yes, this is why we forgive. This was what came up for us in yesterday's reading with forgiveness, is this weightlessness. We do it to release ourselves from densities, from heavies, right? Yes. We release ourselves from the densities of the past, of holding on to things that are out of our control. Right? One for there, one for here. Okay. Look into blue solar water. Do it. Good stuff. Talk about your liquid sunshine. Okay. So we forgive to release ourselves from dense energy, right? Think about grudges and things that we hold on to, and we're like, oh, that person, and oh, that way that person made me feel a long time ago, and I'm going to hold it inside of my body, right? No, let's not do that. Let's be like, I forgive that person for being ... right? Fill in your own blank. They didn't know better. And I release them and all ties linked to them and their behavior and how it made me feel or whatever, right? I'm going to let that go so that I don't continue to carry that inside of my body, right? We release ourselves. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Okay. Okay, Arcturians, what you got for us? That one? That one? Get out. Get out. Get out. Guess what it is? Okay. This is a hard one. This is a hard one for us. It is. It is indeed one we must thoroughly explore. Forgiveness. We got double forgiveness, okay? How does that happen? When spirit wants us to focus on something, it doesn't mess around. Okay. The energy of forgiveness helps you to find the strength to forgive yourself for whatever judgments you have imposed on yourself. It's not just about forgiving others, it's forgiving ourselves. How much shame we carry from choices that we made in the past, right? 1 second. Hi! I was like, carry on, but forgot to press record. Okay. So I Googled it. Forgiveness is a conscious, voluntary decision to let go of resentment, anger, and thoughts of vengeance towards someone who has wronged you. It is a primary tool for personal healing and emotional freedom rather than a favor to the offender. Wow. Yes, we can hold ourselves locked in to another just by refusing to forgive. And we want to free ourselves. We are in the business of freedom, right? And we want to fly released from the weights of the past, right? But also consider yourself as one of those offenders of self to self, right? Multidimensional. We are also very much capable of betraying ourselves, our own hearts, our own feelings, our own emotions. We tend to deny ourselves things. Another thing that's coming up is being really, really guarded and defended, that you push away and deny love and joy and peace, even, right? No, I'm holding on to this because without it, who would I be, right? There's also that. We identify with the pain, it becomes part of who we consider ourselves. And so to release that is to release versions of self that we've superimposed upon it. It's like a box, right? And putting, maybe it's a mirror box, and you look at it and you see your reflection, and so you think you are the box. But you're not the box. The box is a box. It is just reflecting you. Something like that. Okay. Okay, forgiveness. Where'd it go? There it is. And it takes time, right? To forgive, to rewire the brain away from vengeance and into love, right? This is a process, and it starts with self. It starts with the peaceful nervous system, that the defender, right? That needs to step up and be like, they did this and we're not going to let them get away with it, right? We need to hold them accountable. We need to stand up for justice. Okay, and as I'm saying this is not all bad things. This is not all stuff that we don't want to do. There's a time and a place, right? And this is the self-reflecting on how it affects, how we let it affect how deeply ingrained, we allow it to be. Okay, but this is about your transformation with Degas. Okay, yeah, I mean, these readings the last few days, it's all been about this getting to the top, getting to this busting out of the cocoon phase and embarking, emerging as renewed, as new, right? Forgiveness is perhaps the last foot on a branch, right? Before we take off and fly. Forgive, but what if I just let go? But what if I fly away into the stratosphere? What if I can't fly? Right? You've got wings. What if they're just for show? Right? This is why the process of becoming a butterfly involves deep faith, trust in self. Sorry, I've got mesmerized by my citrine. Okay, so maybe something about the citrine. One second. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. Hi, 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 hi. You stay there. You stay there. I just opened up on citrine. Okay. Manifestation, personal will, mental clarity, and creativity. It is the fire element, the root, the creative, and the solar. Citrine opens the inner doors to increased clarity of thought, enhanced creativity, and magnified powers of will and manifestation. Wow. Okay, citrine. Just going to read the summary here. In spirituality, natural citrine is a great manifester, allowing for one to purify the manifestation channel and bring divine energy into form through intention and action. Beautiful. That's been coming up for us too, this balance between the eagle eye view, right? Your third eye, your higher self, communication, connection, and your on the ground action. Guided by that, right? It assists in maintaining one's direction when the going gets difficult or when obstacles appear in one's path. Emotionally, natural citrine assists one in overcoming difficulty, maintaining effort through adversity, and taking decisive action to resolve difficult situations. It assists one in overcoming feelings of being undeserving of abundance. Ooh. Natural citrine enhances physical stamina and energy, supports the endocrine system, and encourages proper metabolism. Proper metabolism. Okay, I'll let you do your own research for more info on that. But yes, beautiful. Oh yeah, I was going to feelings of undeservedness. So this is also forgiving aspects of self that accepted less than deserving. Right? Put up with behavior that you did not deserve. Taking less than you deserve because you felt that that's what you deserved, right? There are levels of versions of self that need forgiveness. This is part of, right? It's yes, people, places, and external things, but it is also internal other stuff for us. Sorry, I got distracted by a message coming in, caught my eye, and made me made me block. Okay, forgiving ourselves as well as others. Okay, forgiveness is a blanket term that encompasses all levels of forgiveness. Forgive that person who cut you off on the way into town today, right? They were in a rush. We don't have all the information. Don't need to take it personally. Okay, let's see what we're starting off here with. Beautiful. The connection, you're tending to your inner gardens, your inner landscapes, tearing away, pulling out the landmines that others can unbeknownstly trip on and blow themselves up on, right? This is why we do the work. We don't want to keep bleeding on people who are trying to love us just because we're wounded, right? So we need to deal with the wounds. We need to suture our crevasses. And yes, we do that through our connecting, through our centering, through our higher soul star chakra, third eye, heart space, and earth star chakra. I accidentally called it a soul star chakra. It's your earth star chakra. Yesterday's reading, when forgiveness and this card came out. Okay. Yes, introspection, going within quietly, reservedly. Looking at all of the things within, right? Versions of self who need forgiving, right? We did the best with what we knew at the time. And it serves nobody to look back at those times with contempt and disdain, regret, even. Regret never changes the past, but it certainly affects the future. Okay. Yes, there's some balancing the process, the trusting of the process. And the Two of Cups. I want to say, yes, this is beautiful, balanced, reciprocating relationships. Relationship that nurtures, encourages, and empowers each other. Right? Because we've got the two little cups. When they get together, they transform into these big cups because there is a kind of reciprocating love that only two overflowing cups can give to one another. And this, by default, creates an even more, it's like, what would you be, do, feel, look like if you were loved in the way you've always deserved to be loved, right? What does that look like? Well, you start getting there. You start finding out by loving yourself in a way that you have never been loved before. Okay, we missed it. Just a deer walked by, but now it's the level of the blackberry bushes. It's behind it, so you can't see anything. Okay, dear. So I feel like this is that internal reflection, right? This is the working on your cups. We've got all these cups here. Your emotional, your peaceful nervous system, right? Your internal realms, this balancing. the pouring of the cups, the process, this masculine, feminine energy, and then this ability to self-contemplate. What was that? I think I just saw a fairy. It was like, I don't know, this big, and it up into the trees there. Okay. Anyways, yes. Okay. Yes, okay. Let's see what else comes out. Tell us more about this Two of Cups. This internal balance, manifesting externally. We did have the citrine, right, with the manifesting. Oh, you little... No! Look at how cute she is. You can come sit over here, okay? Here you go. Here you go. You stay there. You stay there. Okay. Lots of distractions. I don't even know what I was talking about. Internal, becoming external, forgiving self, so we are able to receive. This is the thing, we can hold ourselves accountable for things in the past that we don't forgive ourselves for. Like, I don't deserve this because I was like this before, or, you know, and we are deserving of all the things. So forgive yourself those things you think you're not deserving of other things. If it's coming to you, if it wants to be with you, if it's lining up for you, then it's for you, right? But you have to step out of the confines you create in your mind, right? I can't do these things. I don't deserve. Somebody else is too good for me. All of these things that we tell ourselves. This is the avoidance of self-reflecting. This is the avoidance of tending of your internal spaces, and the inability to recognize your process of becoming worthy. And it starts with your forgiveness of self, right? If we were to hold ourselves accountable, this is not about not holding ourselves accountable. This is not about denying or avoiding. This is about owning, confronting, reflecting, and releasing. And transformation, right? You are no longer that version of you. So you don't need to hold on to its wardrobe, right? That version of self no longer exists. This is why we release. This is why we do the work. Okay? In becoming, in releasing, in recognizing, in forgiving, in integrating, in compassion. You know, those who are the most awful to others, you can bet that they are the most awful to themselves, their inner, right? It's that same thing. Hurt people hurt people. And it gets hard to tell because you're like, I'm bleeding, and look, you've got blood on you. You're an accessory. I can't trust you, right? It's like, I didn't have blood on me until I got too close to you, and then you bled on me. And it's like, I can't tell whether that blood came from me or not, so I just don't trust you, right? This is how we can over project. Okay. Okay, so the Nine of Cups came out with the Six of Wands. This is beautiful. This is about finding your balance, okay? So I want to say that this is your internal balance state. Meeting yourself, your aspects, your masculine and your feminine, joining together, you in this balancing state, in this reflective, forgiving, open heart space. Because this is your regulated nervous system. This is all your emotional purity, building momentum, moving you forward, combining. And then we've got this you at the top of the mountain, balancing your masculine and your feminine energies, right? So this is why I go there. And the work on your nervous system. The removal of the triggers, right? The going in, this requires, a fine-tooth comb, going back and forth with a metal detector over your entire property to find all the hidden landmines. And then when you find one, beep, 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 then it's like, okay, CSI this area, right? Quarantine it off, get the digging stuff out, start excavating, and then you have to find the trigger, right? Get right down into the mechanism, all the while avoiding triggering it. It's a whole process to disarm, right? And then you do it all over again with the next one. Okay. This is why they call it the work. This is why it's spiritual tending. It's something that is constant. But you, like all muscle building exercises, you get better at finding and disarming. And you can attribute that to your past hurts, pains, and wounds, right? This is how our experience adds to wisdom. Learning how to move from forgive, release, heal. This helps to strengthen your ability, capacity to do that in the future. And even see the signs before you even head in that direction, right? And this is the process in the healing journey, trusting your intuition. It starts with recognizing when you're not trusting your intuition and when you should have, right? When you're like, get that intuitive hit, bring your sunglasses, and your brain's like, I don't need to bring my sunglasses. It's cloudy, right? And so you don't. And then you go into town, and then sure enough, the sun comes out, and you reach for your sunglasses, and you remember, oh yeah, I didn't grab them. But I do remember my intuition telling me to, and I didn't listen to it, right? And then the next time, grab your sunglasses, and it's like, no, I don't need it, right? And it's like, oh yeah, remember last time you argued with your intuition? Just do it. What harm does it, So what? You got your sunglasses. Okay, so I grab them, go into town, sun comes up, I have my sunglasses. Aha, right? And pretty soon, your intuition's like, grab your sunglasses, and you just grab them and go. There's no need to debate, discuss, weigh, right? You just do it. This is that building of it, right? And then who knows, maybe even get to a point where your sunglasses are already in the vehicle, right? Just good to go. Okay. What else is coming out here? What's this? Oh, it's just the lovers throwing themselves on top of the Two of Cups, okay? Because this is validating to me that once you have healed, removed wounds, you're no longer bleeding, you're no longer projecting, you're no longer building walls of swords around you to keep everything and anything from getting too close because you're so tender and triggery, right? Once you balance, once you introspect, once you tend and regulate, right? And forgive and release and become balanced, overflowing, and gorgeous, then your external starts to reflect your internal. You start bringing in people, places, and things, opportunities, situations that you now have space to hold. You now have a heart that isn't bleeding and a pincushion of wounds, right? Where anybody trying to hug it is like inadvertently hitting those, pricks and causing ow. It's like when I still got a thing in there. But when you get a little thorn stuck, right? And you don't realize it until something lightly brushes up against it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, what the heck is that? And then you see this big thorn sticking out. You don't feel it when nothing's touching it. But the second something brushes it, all of a sudden it's stingy, right? This is what we can be like when we don't heal the wounds of the past, when we don't forgive versions of self who allowed people in who were careless with our hearts, right? It's a whole huge thing. Apparently, Spirit really wants us to pay particular attention to, like, this is forgiveness and this is forgiveness. I don't know if I made that clear at the beginning. They're both forgiveness, okay? Okay. Forgiveness. Important. Very important. Okay, the fairies want to come out. Yes, because I thought I saw a fairy. I guess it could have been a bird, but it looked like more like a ball than, birds. And they can ball up when they're coming down, but this one went up. So I don't know. They're pretty fast though, those little birds. I just had 2 chickadees. Okay. I also woke up with the crows this morning, which is interesting because in yesterday's image there were crows. The kindness of crows, something about that. Okay, the Master Maker and number 22. 22 also came up in yesterday's reading, interestingly enough. And I saw one that was flipped, the Friends. Let's take it. Okay. 22. The Master Maker, skill, craftsmanship, Magician, moral strength and invention. Yes, magician was the central card to yesterday's reading. Not to keep bringing up yesterday's reading, but, it's apparently relevant. Okay. Do whatever you do as well as you can, and then make it even better. The Master Maker reminds us that our very best work is always desirable, and in the present situation, it is necessary for success. Okay? Something about your work and balancing in your nervous system. The Master Maker reminds us that very is always desirable. Yep. In fact, he asks that we surpass our previous best. Don't cut corners and don't take the easy way. Whether making a thing or fulfilling a concept, be sure the design is elegant, pure, and functional, and then follow it, attending to every detail in its turn. He says, design beyond your skill and then raise the level of your skill to fulfill it. Give and accept only the best and do it with love of your craft, whatever that craft may be. This card speaks of long-lasting achievement, creative problem-solving, and confident action. It may suggest cooperation with others, especially from a position of responsibility or of teaching one's craft to others. Success comes from practical application of traditional principles in life and in work. Okay, it's interesting. This touches briefly on collaboration, because this other card, friendly cooperation with others, is necessary to reach mutual goals. Beautiful. Okay, that's what this one's about. I'm going to put these two up here and we're grounding in this. Right? The wounds, the hurts, the traumas, the triggers. That's what we're grounding in. That's what we are self-reflecting. To regulate. Okay. Willingness to give and receive assistance and support is also required. Ask friends for help and suggestions. Listen with respect and accept the gifts willingly offered. Unconditional receiving is even more difficult than unconditional giving. 4 feet are more stable than 2. Alternatively, Fairy Nuff and Lochan, which are these two, may be saying that you will benefit from this time, from offering support and aid to a friend. Look around you. Someone you love may be needing your help and be too bound up by fear of rejection or pride to ask. Volunteer your help to your friends and give unconditionally from a generous, loving heart. It will do you good, increasing your store of credit for help in time of need, and it might even help them. Okay. I'm also getting, don't get so over complicating with your own self-work. It's also about engagement. Connection with others. Okay. Who else wants to come out? Let's get one of these ones we haven't done in a while. These are affirmations. Responsibility. Cute. The first step to healing is to take responsibility for my life. I do not get to choose what happens to me. However, I do have the ability to choose how I respond. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, you do. Where's the other one? Okay. Expression. You are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful confirmation of getting to that place, right? This is the transformation that forgiveness affords, allows, supports, encourages, empowers, lifts. Lifts? Lifts. Okay. Let's do a couple of D cards. That one. That one. That one. That one. Those many. Those many. And let's get a couple of charms. Those ones. Okay. Okay. It's crazy now. Okay, let's see. We've got surrender to the process and oh, yes. Okay, beautiful. We got lover confirmation. Okay. Healing is part of, think of it as you are preparing your heart to receive and to produce the kind of love that is only possible once you have surrendered and forgiven and released and healed. Something like that. Okay. Oh, yes. Don't judge your process. Slow and steady, right? This is constant. This is emotional regularity. It takes time. It takes rewiring. It takes patience, right? Allow all of those things. Okay, through your work and your balance, you have learned how to see things that most other people can't. So trust what you see, what you know. You're not going to find validation or confirmation necessarily from others because they don't have all the information that you have. This is why this work, right? What we're doing right now with you watching and me doing this, we're working in tandem. We're working with your intuition and my intuition, and our experiences are going to be uniquely our own. What you see is going to be uniquely tailored to you, right? And that's the beautiful thing. So trust your intuition because it's gorgeous. Okay, we got the dragon here wanting to help you burn away. Ooh, it is part of your magic, your access to the dragon realms. The magician holds the magic of all the elements, right? Earth, air, fire, and water. And those are the languages of, or the playground of the dragons. And so utilize your dragons to help find forgiveness within and burn away all the rest, right? The residuals. We've got the lovebird coming in. Something this way comes, okay? Something this way comes, slow and steady, but gets there, right? The turtle must make very precise steps, because every step counts, right? Something like that. Okay, we've also got this shooting star. So you're balancing, allowing you access to wishes, to movement, to speed, I want to say, which is interesting alongside the tortoise here. So it's like that balance between on the ground, decisive, strategic steps and shooting across the sky kind of action. Okay, and we've got gifts, something wrapped in a bow, specially for you. I feel like this is a consolation prize of the work that you have done or that you are doing wherever you are on your journey. Okay, yes, Empress. This forgiveness allows you to be in a state of receiving, to be in a creatively birthing state of mind. You're not tethered, you're not preoccupied, you're not slowly poisoning yourself with the regrets of the past, right? Look at this. We've got made for an angel here and this wish. Okay, so this is stuff that you are drawing in to the Empress here. This is your transformation, transformed into the Empress. The Empress is the being state, right? Receiving, creative, birthing ideas, and receiving the blooms. So you've got wishes, you've got things just for you, you've got gifts from the universe. Gorgeous. What's this? Oh, yes, you are a unicorn. Okay, yeah, you are. You are magical, powerful, shining, sparkling, and gorgeous. Okay, what's this guy? Oh, it's a little elephant. Okay. I want to say sturdy and I don't know. I'm also getting like the elephants. There may be elephants in your life that you need to leave behind. It's like I'm getting like the ugly duckling story, right? This baby swan thought it was a duck, a weird duck, right? It's like this unicorn thought it was a weird elephant and then realized that it was a unicorn, right? That's the ugly duckling story. Except the duckling realized it was a swan. Okay. What do we got here? The goal is to leave your comfort zones, to tear down your walls of swords, okay, and to find stability in your own ability to create boundaries and protect yourself on levels that don't require you hiding behind razor walls with fields of landmines surrounding you, right? Yes. Finding your solid ground. Okay, now we're in a tower and you need to get your feet on the earth. Stabilize in. Be the rhino too. Look at the rhino, right? Its body is made of armor and it's got two horns. It's a overprotected unicorn. Okay, this is who you were in here, and now you are transformed into this gorgeous unicorn that you are. Okay, that is what I have for you. So continue to forgive, find ways within, surrender to the process, trust your work, your unfolding, your becoming, your heating and your cooling, right? And engage, connect, be of service, open your heart, express, be the love you wish to see. Love and appreciate you, and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.